So just to get an idea of who is all here, how many of you already know your star seeds? Yeah, love it. How many know what their lineage is or have connected to certain beings, even if you don't know all of the beings? All right, beautiful. And how many of you, just to get an idea, have worked with a tool called the Merkaba? Okay, all right. So we're working with the range here, all right? So we have the ones who know, the ones who may be questioning, different tools, modalities, different things to get there. So what we'll do today is explore some of those things, explore those modalities, try to channel by using a series of tools, and try to connect with both star families and other lineages and see what kind of communications come through, which may be through, or the communications may be for yourself, they may be for the collective. So we'll have to see. There's a lot that goes on during these activations, and sometimes it's an energetic experience as well. You're getting downloads and upgrades and tune-ups and all sorts of things like that. So just talking a little bit about format, and I guess I should say I'm Jamie Voss Love. That's who I am. I do a lot of things: psychic mediumship, remote viewing, channeling. I like to help people connect with their star family, connect with their intuition, empower people, because you guys are all able to do that, but not everyone may have that full trust, or just may need a little guidance in getting there. Like, what are some ways and types? And of course, aside from that, sometimes it just comes through spontaneously as well, right? The dream space, you're having a profound meditation. So all sorts of ways. So this is just one of the ways that we will explore today, and I'll go over some of those tools and why. And so I have been working with the ETs for quite some time now. You probably know this story. You come in at birth, you have these gifts, you know it, and then your vibration is kind of breaking down, right, through trauma and whatnot, and then something reactivates those experiences. Others of us just have known our whole life. And so I'm not going to go too deeply into that space today. I offer that outside of here, but tomorrow we have a Starseed panel where we will go in deeper into all of the lineages, the histories, and probably some of the other questions that you may want to know. So I just wanted to start off by saying that. So if you can look at your guides that you're sharing, and I'm so sorry again about the amount, but I'll explain it to the best of my ability without, even if you don't have the sheet. So let's start off with Merkaba. Show of hands one more time. Who's familiar? All right, beautiful. So you know that this is an internal tool that can help balance our energies within, balancing the sacred divine energies, balancing the sacred feminine and masculine energies within us. So this is what the Merkaba looks like. It should be on your sheets as well. Mer meaning light, Ba body, and Ka spirit. So we use this tool just to kind of balance these energies within, which is really important in clearing the channel and ascending and communicating. So we're going to be working with that today. And then we have the pyramid energy. Pyramids are known to be amplifiers of energy. So they not only balance the energies of the earth, but we can access them etherically, right? Balance the energies within, and then amplify those energies to sort of ascend to these higher dimensions where we can meet our star families in those spaces and those spheres, and just try to see what wants to come through for us. You know, what do we need to know in our journey, our mission? why we're here, all of those good things. So we'll use that tool as well. And then the third tool is going to be, I just call it the radio dial, right? So the reason why I put this in here is because many of you as starseeds, you don't just have one gift. You can see into the future, you can remote view, you may have mediumship experiences, you may not even know all of the gifts that you bring to the table. You are raising frequencies just by being in presence. That happens sometimes. Sometimes it's intentional, raising activations. So you're doing just a whole bunch of gifts there. And so when that happens, usually you have an open channel. Perhaps some of you had a visit in the night by an energy, ET or not. Maybe it was a loved one or, a loved one of a friend, angel, whoever it is. And you get to decide, do I want to receive that information and do I want to share that information? So for purposes of today, because we are focused on extraterrestrial and star families, we just imagine that we're tuning that dial that can go to all these different dimensions to specific dimension, and try to bring those messages in more clearly. Now, willingness to share. This is what gets people sometimes, right? You're exploring it in the beginning, and all of these wild things come through, and sometimes they don't even make sense because they're like little nuggets or puzzle pieces. Other times they're very clear, and sometimes we have a hesitancy to share those. The more we share, we keep a journal, even if it doesn't make sense to us, just keep going at it, because that strengthens that momentum in our channel. That strengthens the momentum in our channel, and over time, those pieces will fit together. So when I was first channeling, I remember I was just getting like star constellations. I'm like, what is this? What is that? And they're like, and I'm like trying to like play like this like pyramid game of who is this? And it came through as United Nations of Stars, which I would later figure out was the Galactic Federation of Light. But this is like 14 years ago, so didn't know all of those things, and then it later made sense. So again, they will want you to share messages that could help the collective. So that's the radio dial and the willingness to share. So that being said, I kept the summary of the steps again if you want to do this on your own, but we're going to do it together. So I'm just going to ask you to kind of set the pamphlet aside with instructions and just kind of not pay attention to that for a moment. And we're just going to kind of raise the vibration of the room together and go through an activation. And you can set your own intention, maybe something that you've been working with, maybe some messages that you're looking forward to hearing. And again, when we're using our psychic senses, they can come in many different ways. So don't feel like nothing happened if you didn't get like this profound long message or this like profound vision, because you can feel it through the body, right? You can feel it through the senses. You may need an activation or a download to play with the frequencies, and that may open up something. So outside of this, just pay attention to dreams, pay attention to other things that will come after you move through this Starseed channeling. Okay, so we're going to go over these steps, and then I'll ask you to kind of journal what came through to see, what you're tapping into. And you don't have to, but if there's anyone who does want to share their experience, I welcome that. And then also, I will also be doing some channeling as well. So is everybody ready?
Yes.
Anyone have questions? You guys are like, get on with it. Let's go. They're waiting. All right, perfect. So everyone just to close their eyes. Some of your eyes are already closed. You're ready. And just start clearing the breath. Clearing the breath, opening the channel. We just want to allow all of the muscles to relax, the central nervous system to relax, just to feel fully present in our body, to feel safe, to feel loved, and to have that channel open. And so, as always, I set the intention for love and light and highest and greatest good for the energies coming through. And then we just want to imagine that, again, our channel is open, we are anchored, and just start sending golden light from the crown all the way to the feet. Just for a moment. Okay, so now this is when you want to start breathing in the Merkaba shape. So again, just representing the balance of energies within. And I want you to notice as you do this, does it feel like you're feeling energy on the left side of the body more, or the right side? Or does it feel balanced? Just awareness, that's it. And then bringing that golden energy just up to the heart. And then breathing through the heart and imagining that each time you do breathe, you are expanding. And if it helps, just thinking of something, someone you love, a pet, a place you like to go, a person. This really helps to start raising that vibration of love, making it easier to connect. Okay. Now just imagining again, you have your channel. It's beautiful, it's gifted. And just set the intention to dial it to galactic mode. Who you want to connect with to galactic mode. And then this is where we're going to begin to astral project. So now that the physical body is feeling secure and safe, using your visual, and it's okay if you can't see it, just imagining, feeling it, whatever clear works for you, whatever sensation works for you, use it. But going into the Great Pyramid. And just taking a moment to connect again to this balanced energy, this esoteric knowledge. It's all connected. And just giving yourself permission to take a moment to rest. Rest on a crystal bed. And just receive energy for a moment. Just lightening up the frequency. And when you look around, just try to notice a detail about the pyramid. Can you see a specific symbol, a hieroglyph? What's there? Okay, so this is where we're going to be ascending from the ascending machine that is the pyramid. And as the vibrations get higher and higher, you're just going to float all the way to the top. And that top has a little hatch. That top of that pyramid has a little hatch. So you're going to float and rise above. Rise above. And so this next part of the journey will be partly up to you, but we'd like to go through a portal. So imagine that portal in any way you choose, but just go through it when you're ready. And on the other side of this portal, setting the intention to connect with your star family. You may see beings. You may see symbols. Or again, you may just have feelings of energy and love. So just take a moment just to explore this realm and see who wants to come into your circle. Beautiful. And so now just set the intention. Say you're up in the cosmos. You're looking all around. You're in higher dimensions. And just point to a planet or a constellation with your intuition. And see if you can even get just a symbol or a hint or a clue. And I want you to just feel like your body is going there, you're traveling there. And when you feel ready, touch down and anchor down into this planet. So just notice what the environment looks like. Try to look at a panoramic view. See if you can notice if you appear to be different. See if you can tap into the vibration. And just go ahead and get a feel for it. And before you leave this place, just ask the question, even if it feels like you're alone or if you're with others. Ask what it is that you need to know in this moment. What can assist you on your journey? And before we begin our journey back home, just taking a moment to ask, is there anyone else that wants to show up? As some of us have been all around the universe. And we have many friends besides our families. So just see. Invite them in through your heart. And just giving gratitude for as little or as much came through, as we know that this is a process that continues to unfold. And as you're sort of transporting back through the portal, just seeing if there are any number codes that want to come through and any symbols. And just pay attention to those. Those are some codes being activated, as well as memories being awakened, clues. So coming back through the portal, softly and gently. Coming back through the pyramid, feeling lighter, cleaner. And then softly and gently coming back to your physical body. But take your time for a moment, because it's really important to anchor in all of this information and energy, as it really, really, really wants to be grounded to earth, so that you can travel even higher, even farther each time you land. So just start noticing your feet, your legs, your fingers. Just kind of stretch as needed before taking one last deep breath, just to release anything that needs to be released. And opening your eyes gently when ready. Drink some water if you feel like you need to take a sip. And then just want to give you, let's see what time we're working with here, a couple of minutes before we go into some other channeling, just to document anything, again, as little or as much that comes through, as it's different for everyone, every time, every space, many energies are impacted. All right, I think we're good. So now the question, who is able to make a connection? All right, that's pretty good. Anyone? Don't be shy. We know you made a connection. Who's willing to share? I'd love to just to share a couple of stories, just so people can get an idea of variances of what can. Absolutely.
Because I can always wait, but I just want, like, for me, it's feeling. And it's almost like, you feel the plasma, like, it almost feels like oil.
Yeah.
It's just like it goes, it comes down. And it's still going.
Yeah.
So, that short period of time, that was very powerful. So,
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing it. They're working a lot right now with, like, especially the mitochondria DNA and plasma is needed for that, the liquid light. And so, yeah, the clairsentience response is still huge, even if words and that sort of thing doesn't come through. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. Anyone else? You in the back with the cool hat.
Thank you. You can find them downstairs. So yeah, this is the first time in an astral session that I feel like I bolted out of, I just skyrocketed up, and then it was like fireworks sort of. And then I was looking at Earth before I went through the portal. And I went to Arcturus, but that's probably because I'm sort of predisposed to feeling that connection.
Sure.
But in the past, the few times I have gone there, I've gone inner Earth on one of the planets. And this time I was like, I'm gonna hang out on the planet. And it was purely light. It was definitely on a different dimension, and it was this almost angelic frequencies, but you could see the outlines of cities and things like that. And when I touched surface, everything I touched rooted. It was everything was rooted, I connected and was part of the living whatever density frequency system it was that existed there.
Very cool. I love it. Arcturians have some high vibration, that's for sure. Thank you for sharing. Who else? Rochelle, you're making that face.
I had the same experiences that were out there with the feelings.
The plasma?
Yeah.
Yeah, right
exactly.
on. Terry?
Well, I know my Starseed, but this time I went to Andromeda, which I've never gone there before. And so that was fun. And then when you said, is there, what was that last part? Anyone else, or the whales and the dolphins came? And I mean, I like whales and dolphins, but I don't have that connection that some people do where they go, oh, whales and dolphins. And so they came and they were like, why do you always say you don't have a connection to the whales and dolphins? You have a connection to us. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. So now I guess I'm supposed to go, oh, whales and dolphins.
There you go. New insight.
That was new.
I love it. I love it. I have Andromeda was my most recent incarnation, but we can we can have incarnations all over, and sometimes what we remember the most is our most recent one of those, but we have so many different makeups, right? And but with what you're describing with whales and dolphins, there's so many interpretations of that. There's whale consciousness, dolphin consciousness, some of the most intelligent beings on our planet that have existed forever. But there's also Lemurian connection with that too. And it's not uncommon for starseeds to, coming into their Earth life first, to go to either Atlantis or Lemuria, and then do all our civilizations and training, unless you were one of the fortunate new babies to skip all that karma and just get to come in as your high vibrational soul. Thank God for those. But yeah, thank you for sharing. That's awesome. So if you have to keep me posted on what comes out with the whales and dolphins, take a trip, yeah? All right. We'll have a couple more shares, and then we'll... Who else wants to share? I saw some hands raised in this section of the room, and then they went down.
So I've never done anything like this before, and I don't know if it's my imagination, but I was all over the place. When you talked about the pyramid, I didn't, you said, I don't know if you said Giza, but I thought about that, but I was uncomfortable with that. So I was in an inverted, clear pyramid in the universe after I left my body. And I was laying out all those crystals, because you said that, and then I started floating above that with a black hole. Saw my mom, who I'm kind of here trying to connect with my mom, and so I saw her and we hugged, and I was happy and she was happy, and then I bolstered, I just took off, which my brain was like, why'd you do that? You were here for mom, but we were all okay. And then I saw a planet and went down to the planet, and when you said the prompt about what is the message I need to take away, or what is it I'm supposed to learn? And I saw just shadows of people that said, we're here. We're here. But on that planet, I felt like people were not there. Like when I first got there, the people were gone. But then I heard we were here, and then I said back to them, how can I help? And then that was kind of weird. And then the number popped into my head, which I have no meaning. I don't know what it means. 405718. So what do I do with the number? You said something about the number. I don't know what to do with the number.
Activation codes. Yeah, I mean, I don't like to translate personal because I do believe it's a personal journey, but there's some things you can check into and see how it relates for you. So you can look up like what the spiritual meaning is of that particular code. Okay. The other thing too is I find all the time, I just call them bifurcated messages, which means like there could be an immediate connection that we find, right? But then like 2 years later we move and that becomes our address and we saw that, so it's like we're in a, yeah. But thank you for sharing that with the mediumship because you just took time. What I was shown is, and this may be different for everyone, but like, again, Starseeds have psychic mediumship gifts, but before, it's almost like when you're channeling, they're meeting us like on a level that we can like, we go up, they come check us out, whatever, we share messages. But now with this new technology, transformation in our T cells, along with this meridian point that allows us to cross over the third plane of existence, we can do it in activations just like this. This was more tailored to the ETs, but you can do that with mediumship. We've done it before, and it opens the whole gateway. So whoever you intend to connect with, just be prepared that a whole bunch of family members, all across can come in. So if you want to connect on that, I can tell you some things where we'll do both group journeys or even individual messages for her.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. My time checker. All right, so one more share.
With the visualization, I put myself actually automatically in Kaaba, gold light, and I actually put the pyramid around that, like a pyramid of gold light around myself, and then I was in the pyramid. And what was interesting, the activation thing I kept hearing was like 1, 2, 3. The messages I got were, you are not alone, and be patient. It was really odd. I kept the visual I got, it was almost like a reptilian. And it wasn't a bad thing, it wasn't like a fearful thing. And I kind of relate to the Arcturians. So I don't know if that makes sense. But it was this I couldn't quite get all the features of it, but it was just this particular thing and almost like the skin.
Sure.
So.
Did you say you felt like a calming presence with the reptilian energy, or did it feel?
It didn't feel fearful.
Okay.
But I had an actual experience, and I think it was Arcturian.
Yeah.
Actually, not this session, but my eyes were closed and I started seeing symbols scroll down really fast in my inner eyelid, not my mind, not my eyelid. And then there was a being that was hugging me from behind, like spooning.
Sure.
And I freaked out and called the Archangel Mike. And then it was gone and the symbols were gone. That was wild.
Calm and support.
Yeah. But that message, you are not alone and be patient, I feel like that's not just for me. I feel like that's for the collective.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I was curious about what some of the collective messages are. Sometimes when we share them, it's more than one of us needs to hear that, right?
Well, the only thing I was going to share, the symbol was the cross, but it was enclosed with a circle.
Okay.
So I don't know what that means either. But
Yeah, that's beautiful. I'm tracking. I never, again, I don't like to translate because I feel like it's a personal journey, but there's lots of stuff going out there with Christ consciousness. Reptilians can be, there can be positive, both negative. We have to go deep into our lineage and what wars are we remembering and different things and how they're helping with us and just, trying to get to a place of that compassionate witness when we may see, light and darkness in others. So I'm sure that will unfold. But I definitely recommend, you probably already do, Again, some of you guys seem to like really know your lineages and how to connect, but keep that journal, because I can't even tell you how many times like some things immediately dropped in and they're coming along faster, but like 14 years ago when I first awakened, I was like, what does this mean? And I was just like, writing, a few things down at a time, and you can get frustrated over it, but it does come and it does make sense. So thank you for sharing that. Real quick before we kind of close up here, did anyone else have a message that did feel like a collective message that they feel called to share that might be beneficial for the group?
The message I got was have fun.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. We take this so seriously, right? Because there's so much going on out there on Earth, and so it's part of the journey, transcending duality. But yeah, I love that.
The words are here, be of good cheer.
You have a good chair? Perfect. I think we can all use that. Who doesn't need more cheer and fun in their lives?
Let bliss be your baseline.
What's that?
Let bliss be your baseline.
Let bliss be your baseline. Perfect. Yes. If you would have told me that years ago, you would have been my savior. Thank you for that insight. All right, cool. Well, like I said, we're getting into the more details of our specific lineages, and then we'll have a chance for you guys to ask any questions. I'm not even sure who's planning on intent. I'm just like, you guys are all going to be there, right? Well, so I don't know, but my contact information is on those sheets. I also have, if you didn't get the sheets, I have this. I gave a sign-in sheet, so what I will do is email you guys all a copy of that, and then just some other information that could help. This is just, like I said, it's just one modality of several that can help connect, and just a little bit more about the lineages if that's something that you're interested in. So there's all sorts of stuff there. So I want to give you that. There is a gift in there if you are called to any services. Again, like this part I'm sending on behalf. But just notice that there is a discount on services if you're called to that. And then following this session, I'll be doing a book signing right out in the hall. That book does include my history of discovering ET lineages, how I came to start talking to them, communicating with them, how I had forgotten kind of what I shared in the beginning. And that happened before plant medicine, but plant medicine definitely accelerated it for my personal journey. So just talking about some insights in that and everything in between. So those books are available right out in the hallway. And again, thank you so much for coming here. There will be more. And yeah, love you guys.
Thank you.